A very good morning to all of you. This is Shweta Gandhi, an IELTS trainer from Ausis Group. I'm back again with one more FB Live session for you guys, helping you out in your IELTS examination. Today we are talking about specific module that is called Lexical Resource. What is Lexical Resource? It is all about vocabulary. It is all about full of vocabs, full of idioms, full of phrases and collocations, connotations, everything which involve how to ace good bands in IELTS. As we know that there are 4 modules and specifically we have 4 modules like listening, reading, writing and speaking, but Lexical Resource specifically working it is working specifically on 2 modules. Specifically I'm talking about, that is writing and speaking. Because in listening you should have good accent, you should have good the way to listen the answers. You should understand the vocabulary in reading also. If you do not understand the vocabulary in reading, you'll be not able to find out the answers. So vocabulary is very important in listening also, in reading also. But specifically why I'm talking about writing and speaking, because these 2 modules are called productive modules, because you need to generate thoughts, you need to generate your ideas, and that is why it becomes very much difficult to collect, to identify, to generate that vocabulary. Okay, so that is why it is very much important to you guys to understand what is the importance of lexical resource. Lexical resource is, it's a hi-fi word for simple word that is called vocabulary. So if you are adding good vocabulary in your IELTS examination for writing, that's called unusual or uncommon, or not that specific uncommon, I can say. One thing that you should always understand, that whenever you are adding lexical resource, try to add the words related to the related to the topic. For example, if I'm taking an example of food, so food related vocabulary must be contaminated, must be preservative, additives, or food related vocabulary may be related to you're eating junk food and you're getting no waste. So the reasons are sedentary lifestyle and excess consumption of processed food. So what I am doing right now, I have a topic that is called food, and food is particular that topic which is going to be it is, you can see in your IELTS essay, and or even examiner can ask this particular topic in your speaking part. So when you have particularly particularly the topic, so it is very much important to know the topic related vocabulary. One more example, if I am giving you, for example, technology. So if you can say modern technology, but rather if you can write cutting edge, right? So cutting edge is again the modern one, right? So just remember, lexical resource is nothing like you have to use it as a rocket science, you have to use it as very uncommon or very big words or very fancy words. No, it is not like that. You only need to inculcate this thing, that topic related vocabularies are sufficient. But before today, okay, what is today's session? Before starting my presentation, let me make you very clear that today in this particular FB Live session, I am going to tell you that what is the importance of lexical resource, number 1 thing. Number 2 thing is that what is the difference between why you are getting 6 bands in vocab, and what are the basic things that you need to consider when you want 6 plus or 7 bands, right? So 7 bands, 7 plus bands in speaking, in writing, what you need to focus on. Okay, so let's begin. First you need to understand this part, that what is lexical resource. What is lexical resource? Now lexical resource is no repetition of common nouns, verbs and adjectives. The first thing that examiner is understanding, that we do not need to add the same words again and again. If your essay is giving you basic word, for example growing, then you can just change your words to burgeoning, increasing, so you are giving good words to the examiner and the good understanding to the examiner that you are understanding the word clearly, you are understanding the thoughts clearly, and you can able to change the words in your own way. So first thing in the lexical resources, no repetition of common nouns, verbs and adjectives. What is adjective? A particular part of speech that gives that can tell the quality of a noun, that modifies the noun. Verb means action, you can change it. If you are saying modify, you can say change. If you are getting priority, you can say preference. Any noun you can change. For example, it's a male, you can say boy, you can say anything related to that thing, right? Okay, the second thing is use phrasal verbs and uncommon adjectives. Phrasal verbs and uncommon adjectives means try in speaking. I am specifically telling you that in speaking, be aware that you need to use phrasal verbs. But these phrasal verbs are not at all, into essay part, because you are writing very formal essay. So phrasal verbs are also very important. But yes, sometimes if you have written that particular word, a lexical word, and if you want to change that word, sometimes you can use phrasal verbs in essay also. And uncommon adjectives. The third is use of adverb of manner. See, examiner will check everything about your knowledge of adjectives, about your knowledge of adverb, everything. So what is the adverb? An adverb, something which tells or which describes verb or all parts of speech except noun or pronoun. And it is very much important to understand that adverb always ends at ly. For example, if I am saying there is a significant increase in the temperature or increase in the sales of the company, and when you want to write that significant you want to change that word, you can change this word in significantly, right? So that significantly, for example, sales of the company increased significantly. So somewhere you are writing significant, somewhere you are writing significantly. That shows, that is the importance of vocabulary, that you are giving good words, different words to the examiner. The next thing is understanding of spellings and proper usage of words and change of parts of speech. So understanding of spellings, if you are writing the word, but if you are writing incorrect, you're not writing properly. So what is the sense of using that word if you do not have the knowledge about spellings and the proper usage of words, including collocations? So you can use it, but you have to use it appropriately. Accuracy matters. And change of parts of speech, the same thing I told you, that one time you have to use significant, the other time you have to use significantly. So in this way, dramatic, dramatically, tremendous, tremendously. So these are the words that give a basic structure, basic framework of parts of speech. Okay. Moving on to the next part, let's understand the basic thing. What are the common mistakes that generally you people do? Once again, the key concept here is clarity. Do you have enough words to express yourself clearly? This is judged by your ability. See, how can you judge yourself? Before that, let's understand what common mistakes you people do when you are writing your exam. A common mistake here is to use long words without really knowing what they mean. So if you know, like you have crammed various words, you have crammed various big words, but you are not able to use it in a proper way. If you know the meaning of alleviate, but you are not using in a proper way, not using the proper tone, then it doesn't make any sense. So if you are very much attracted to words or inclined towards, big, fascinating words, but without knowing the meaning or without knowing or understanding of the usage of that words, so again it doesn't matter at all. So please make sure, if you are okay with good uncommon small words, then also it is fine. So first, what should be your judgment when you need to know about the vocabulary? The first thing, have enough vocabulary to discuss a range of topics. Again, I told you before that you should have enough vocabulary to discuss a range of topics. So there are various topics: food related, health related, diet related, exercise related, globalization, environment, sports, media, internet, technology, social media, family, language, railway, transportation, government. These are the topics. So if you know that out of these topics your essay is coming, so why not prepare such topic oriented vocabularies? So what I suggest you, just make a copy, just make a notebook in which you are writing topic related vocabulary. Okay. The second thing is, if you're using vocabulary, make sure this is accurate and will be able to explain yourself when you do not have the right word. Okay. The next thing I want to let you know that this is particularly lexical resource bands, and I have given you only for 6, 7, 8, 9 bands. You know, when you are being judged by the examiner, it is there are only 4 criteria on which they are judging you. The first thing is lexical resource, in which the vocabulary is judging. The second thing is grammatical range and accuracy. The third thing is task achievement. The fourth thing is coherence and cohesion. So out of all these 4, today I am going to tell you the band descriptor for speaking, and you need to only judge the difference between 6 bands, 7 bands and 8 bands. That's it. Because 9 bands, first you need to cover these 3, then you can go to that. So it is, you know, it is not at all required, right? So let's begin. Well, I have given you 2 tables here. The first is the writing band lexical resource, and second is speaking band lexical resource. You can see there are there is a difference, or there are differences you can see here. The first thing, if you can see in writing band, let's discuss first writing band, what the basic requirement for 6 bands in lexical resource and what are the requirements for 7 bands in lexical resource in writing. If I'm talking about 6 bands, you need to have uses an adequate range of vocabulary for the task attempts to use less common vocabulary but with some inaccuracy. It's fine. See, 6 bands, if you want to get 6 bands, the only thing is you need to write smoothly. You need to write with proper coherence. So if you are doing some inaccuracies, that's fine. Make some errors in spellings and or word formation, but they do not impede communication. They do not impede communication means they do not hampering it. So 6 bands is nothing. You are using something with inaccuracy, it is negligible, it is fine. Okay, you are not putting effort when you are writing, but you are writing good, means you are getting 6 bands. When I am talking about 7 bands in writing band lexical resource, you can see, now you can feel the difference. Uses a sufficient range of vocabulary to allow some flexibility and precision. You know, uses a sufficient range of vocabulary. But in 6 bands, you can see adequate means suffice, right? It's not. If you have, okay. If you do not have, but if you're writing, then you're getting 6. But when you are at 7 bands, you can feel uses a sufficient range of vocabulary. Sufficient word is important to allow some flexibility. Uses less common lexical items with some awareness of style and collocation. Now 7 bands work with collocation. Collocation, I'll let you know in this presentation that what collocation means, okay, and may produce occasional errors in word choice. Now if you can see in 6 bands, you can see clearly that make some errors. You are allowed to do some errors. But if you are at 7 bands, you can see may produce occasional errors. So you are producing it, but the frequency is less now. And when you're moving to 8 bands, uses a wide range of vocabulary. So 6 bands is adequate, 7 band is sufficient. You have to use sufficient vocabulary range, and 8th is wide range of vocabulary. You have very good range of vocabulary. You can use one particular word in 5 different ways. Fluently and flexibility to convey precise meanings. Skillfully uses uncommon lexical items, but they may be occasional inaccuracies in word choice. Produces rare errors in spellings. Now here the word is rare. In 7 bands you can use occasional, and 6 bands you can make some errors, it's fine. So 8 bands, when you're moving ahead, you're finding that the probability of making errors is less. So it's all about 6, 7, 8 bands in writing. But when I'm talking about speaking bands, speaking in speaking you can find has a wide enough vocabulary to discuss topics at length and make meaning clear in spite of inappropriacies generally paraphrases successfully. So lexical resource talking about 6 bands, it is wide enough vocabulary you have according to the topic. And it is important to use paraphrase. Paraphrase is something you have to re-utter your topic in your own words. And when you're talking about 7 bands in speaking, lexical resource uses vocabulary resource flexibly to discuss a variety of topics. You are using vocabulary flexibly. Flexibly means you do not need to rethink, you do not need to think again and again that what word should I add here. So if you're using it flexibly, you are far away, you're far close to 7 bands. And uses some less common and idiomatic vocabulary. So here, if you want to achieve 7 bands in speaking, it is very much important that you need to switch yourself from using simple vocabulary to have a wide range of vocab plus idiomatic expressions. If you are using idiomatic expressions, it will be very much easy for you all to get good bands. The next is 8 band, uses a wide vocabulary resource readily and flexibly convey precise meaning, uses less common and idiomatic vocabulary skillfully, and use paraphrase. Ultimately, in speaking, if you are speaking fluently with 3, 4, 5 addition of vocabularies, you are getting 6.5. But if you want to go more, if you want to reach your milestone, whatever you have decided with a 7, 7.5 or 8, it is very much important to use idioms. It is very much important to use phrases so that examiner understands that you have the capability to understand the importance, or you have the capability to speak like a native speaker, a fluent part. Okay, so these are the particular band descriptors. I have given you both the things, lexical resource importance for writing and speaking. So work hard, because these are the Bible for you. I can say it is particularly the speaking band descriptor is a Bible for you. It is a kind of syllabus that you have to work on which band according to which what are the demands of that. Okay, let's come to the next part. Let's start how to score good on lexical resource. Now if now it is very much clear to you what is the importance of lexical resource. It is simply a vocabulary. But what is that? Can I use vocabulary directly? No, we have various ways to use it. The first thing is very much important. I already again told you that do not repeat topic words on your own words. Do not repeat the words. Do not repeat the topic words. If anything is written in your topic part, do not just copy it. You can change. You can if the word is teenager, you can write different things. Juvenile, you can write. Okay, and various words like parents, you can change to guardians, and school, you can change to learning or institution. If they are giving you graduate person, you can use or graduation, you can use university education or tertiary education. So these are nothing. These are the simple words. These are just the synonyms. So do not panic if you don't have good hi-fi vocab. They do not want, actually. They only want good precise convey, that what you are conveying the things to the examiner with good synonyms. Okay, so from this particular slide, I am taking you to I am giving another direction to this thing, that how to score. Now what are the things you need to consider when you're working on lexical resource? So first is, do not repeat, of course, the topic words of your own or your own words. Second is, for topic paraphrase, learn to change. Now, paraphrase is something you are using synonyms of your sentence. You have to change your things. You have to change whatever thing is there. So let's start. The first important concept is, if there is an adjective written there, you can change it to adverb. For example, if honest word is there, you can change it to honestly. If the word is intelligence is there, you can change into intelligent. you can change the parts of speech. Verb becomes noun, noun becomes verb, adjective becomes adverb, adverb becomes adjective. So these are the concepts you have to focus on. Third, for all common words to be replaced by uncommon words, keep reading your reading module deeply. If you want, you need to write something good, then of course reading plays an important role. Try to read novels, try to read your reading module, specifically passages. It will help you to boost your vocabulary. Fourth, for topic specific vocabulary, keep reading sample essays. Yes, it is very much important. Then how to get topic related vocabulary? For this you can read sample essays, or you can directly search on internet topic related vocabulary. For example, food related vocabulary for IELTS. You will see various websites. With the help of these websites, you can take these words and you can start using according to your proper proper knowledge of making sentences. Now, for example, I have given you the word happiness, which is acting as a noun. So this particular happiness, if there is a word happiness in your any topic, or if the examiner is asking the speaking part, what you can do, it's simply you can change that happiness in different sentences by adding, like for example, you can change the word happiness in happy, which is an adjective. You can change that happiness in happily, which is an adverb. You can make the synonyms also, like for example, you can say happiness is merriment, delight, contentment, pleasure, joy, etc. So here you can see, either if you do not have synonyms, change the parts of speech, change the speech of that word. It could, if there is a noun, you can change it to adjective, you can change to adverb, you can change. The third thing is synonyms, and the fourth thing is you can change the sentences, and you can make the antonym part of it: unhappiness, woefulness, agony, sorrow, etc. So you can make this vocabulary cloud. With the help of this, you can easily identify the words, you can easily identify the importance, and understand that these words, if I am using in such way, I can also convert these words into different forms, and variations are very important, right? And it is very much important to have the variations in your essays, because it will give you it will make the examiner understands that yes, you have the capability to change the words according to your own way. Okay, so therefore it is important to make vocabulary cloud, in which the main word is written in the mid part, and then you can make the other parts of speech related to that word. Okay, let's come to the next part, that is called, okay, the first thing I told you that change the parts of speech, right? The second thing I'm telling you that use the synonyms, right? So let's consider some example here. In order to show that you have flexibility and precision, you will like to use synonyms for words that tend to be used frequently in the essay. So therefore it is very much important to fill around 50 pages of your vocabulary. See, in IELTS, it is not a GRE test where you will be judged by high-five words. No, not at all. It is simple IELTS test in which you will be judged by using synonyms of that words. And these words are very common, they often use in your IELTS exam, so it is not at all problematic for you to find or to identify which words are here and which words suit which. Okay, so please make sure that if you are reading, or if you read only 50 essays, but it must be like 5 essays each topic. Well, first topic is food, you have to read 5 essays related to food. Then health, you have to read 5 essays related to health. Then technology, you have to use 5 essays related to technology. So these, all at least minimum 5 essays you have to read, and then you can identify the most common words that are used again and again. So let's see how we can use the second thing, synonyms. Synonyms, again, the lexical part. So studies, for example, studies show that overeating is as harmful to people's health as smoking. Therefore, advertisements of certain food products should be banned, just as cigarette advertising is banned. So here you can identify that studies show that overeating is as harmful to people health as smoking. So here, if I am taking this word harmful, Then you can see I have given 4 words related to harmful or 4 synonyms related to harmful. Harmful could either be called detrimental or damaging, unhealthy, hurtful, destructive, etc. And the next word is advertisement. Certain food products should be banned. Ban, prohibited, disallowed, outlawed, made unlawful, made illegal, etc. You can also use good word for ban, embargo. So these are, I am just giving you the idea how to be very much, successful in your IELTS exam. Trust me, it is not that difficult, it is not that arduous as you feel. Okay, it is not like that. Don't you know that it is not at all important to read or to understand or to cram all 5 words? It's not at all important. If you know harmful word, you can just understand the synonyms, 3 synonyms only. The main is detrimental, destructive. If you're talking about food, then it is unhealthy or damaging. And if you're talking about ban, you can say made unlawful, disallowed or outlawed, prohibited. So at least you can use only 3, you can cram only 3 words, that's it, that's sufficient. Don't think like we have 10 words for 1 word, you have to cram all that 10 words. No, it is not at all important. There is only 1 essay in your examination. So 1 essay means what? Only 250 words, and you're not going to write the same word again and again. So it's easy to make yourself chill in this particular part. The only factor you have to work, that at least you can use or you can cram 3 words. Okay, let's come to the next part. The next is paraphrasing. If I want to repeat myself for your lexical resource, I already told you that the first part is you can change your parts of speech. Your parts of speech you can change from adjective to adverb, adjective to adverb, noun to verb, verb to noun. The second is synonym use, where you can use different synonyms like we did in our previous slide. Then third is paraphrasing. Now what is paraphrasing? See, if you are changing words, this is paraphrasing. If you are using synonyms, this is paraphrasing. Let's see the example how paraphrasing could be done. The first thing you can see that there are 2 ways to change your sentence structure. The first is by changing words. The second thing by changing the sentence structure. So let's have the example for changing words. Original sentences or the example is global warming caused by emissions from internal combustion engines. Global warming is mostly caused by emissions from internal combustion engines. Now if you want to paraphrase this, you can say global warming is equals to climate change, mostly is equals to mainly, caused you can say generated, emission you can say release, internal air emission, that is called release of fumes from internal combustion engines from motor vehicles. So see how easy it is. If you are just changing the words, you can create a new sentence, but you are telling the same meaning as the original sentence is giving you. It's as simple, right? So you can just comment also. You can give me the things that yes, you are going good, you are understanding the part, and find out anything which you can write down anything which you do not understand and you want to understand it, right? So you can see how it is easy if you're paraphrasing it. Right, so again I'm telling global warming can become climate change. It's mostly caused by, it's generated by emission, release of fumes, combustion engine, motor vehicles. The next thing, next example, original. The number of rich people has increased noticeably in the past 50 years. The number of rich people has increased. When you want to change it, and you want to do paraphrase, you can say the number of rich people has increased. Now here it is a verb, increased, and I told you that you can change parts of speech also, right? So paraphrase version is what? The increase in the number of rich people. Automatically, ultimately the thing is saying the same thing, The first, the number of rich people has increased noticeably in the past 50 years. When you want to paraphrase it, it is the increase in the number of rich people has been noticeable in the past 50 years. See, what I did, I changed the verb form to the noun form. I changed increased, I have made it increase. Increased was a verb, here the increase in number is a noun. Of rich people has been noticeable. Sorry, the increase in the number of rich people, it is considering as an adjective, and has been noticeable. It's noticeable. So the particular original word was noticeably, adverb. I've converted into verb in the past 50 years. Okay, the next thing is changing the structure of sentence. If you are changing the structure of sentence, first I told you about changing words. The second thing I am telling you, changing the structure. For example, many schools require their students to wear uniforms. This is active voice, right? You can change it to passive voice also. What is passive voice? When subject becomes object and object becomes subject, of course. So many schools require their students to wear uniforms. Students are required to wear uniforms in many schools. See, it's very easy. They only want the way you are changing the sentences, the way you are representing yourself, but not in that repeated form that if they have given you the same thing and you're copying the same thing. No, it is not like that. Next, original sentences. More and more people these days prefer social network to keep in touch with friends and family. Now in this sentence you can identify that I have changed the words also and I have changed the structure also. So it's a mixture, amalgamation of two things. You can change the words, you can change the structure, and then making it new sentence. You know, more and more people these days. So these days I have written here nowadays. Social networks are preferred increasingly. Increasingly, more and more people these days. So it means increasingly, right? So nowadays social networks are preferred increasingly often for contacting friends and family. Keep in touch for contacting kids and kin, right? I can say also this. So friends and family. So you can see that these are the ways with the help of which you can increase your things. Okay. Now I told you that topic related vocabularies are also important. So you can see workers. I'm just giving you the help, the things that can help you a lot. So you can see worker. Worker can be, you can be defined in so many forms. You can say employee, personal, part-timer, wage earner, hire, contract worker, staff member, breadwinner, full-timer, salaried employee, freelancer, employed person. All these words are for worker. So I don't want to I don't want you to learn all these words. I only want you to understand that if you are learning only 4 to 5 words related to worker, and whenever worker related essay is coming or worker related question is asked by examiner, you are very much you are very much easy on your way that you can use different words. Income, you can say remuneration, compensation, allowance, stipend, pay, financial incentives, reimbursement. The more important thing is here you can see remuneration, pay, allowance, financial incentives. These are the best words. Benefits, you can say perks, bonus, benefits but related to work. Are you getting that? If I'm talking about benefits, it is not only the good parts of all the things. Benefits always, if you're adding perks is specifically for work-life balance. So work related vocabulary. So perks, bonus, tips, golden parachute, fringe benefits, commission, base salary plus severance pay. So you can see that these words are important. Learn it by heart and analyze yourself that you are going good. Okay. The next thing is, if you are moving towards the next part, you can identify more vocabulary. And let's consider more. Survive financially. Survive financially. Financially you're surviving? earn a living wage, barely. Make ends meet means you are surviving, but you're struggling, right? So that is why you can use these words like barely, earn a living wage, make ends meet, live paycheck to paycheck, live paycheck to paycheck, make the bare minimum, struggle to pay the bills. If you're thriving means have a high paying job, make full in 6 figures, make a killing. This is a slang. Okay. Next, lose one's job. If you're losing, be fired, be let go, be discharged, get the AX. Be laid off, just remember 1-2 words. Quit one's job, you're resigning, stepping down, give notice, retire, hand in one's resignation. Okay. So you can see that these words are important. Moving on to the next thing, you can find collocation. What is collocation? Now, after completion of the 3 steps that I had given you, the first was change the parts of speech, adjective to adverb, verb to noun. The second is synonyms. The third is paraphrase, and the fourth is collocation. These 4 steps or these 4 things are very, very important. Okay. So let's understand, and this is the important part of your lexical resource, because without collocation you are not able to identify what is the importance of it. Collocation is nothing but whenever you are reading, you find out that if you are reading, then specific word comes with specific word. Okay. For example, if you had done any mistake, so you are telling that I have done this mistake, but this is wrong statement. If you are doing mistake, you had committed it. Okay. And there are various words. Let's start with the collocation. Let's return to the band descriptors for a moment and look at band 7 for lexical resource. So what is that? Uses less common lexical items with some awareness of style and collocation. So it's style. If you're using lexical resource, it's a style. So what does this mean? A collocation is a set of 2 or more words which are commonly used together. Simply. See, for example, often see together and express a particular meaning. Okay. So collocation, I'll give you examples further, because I don't want to right now tell you, because you need to understand the meaning, the definition of collocation. Collocation is nothing but good words coming together, and they're giving you good meaning, right? So let's continue and understand more what collocation and why it is important. Collocations are important for a number of reasons. They make language fluent, precise, expressive, and natural. Of course, collocation, if you're finding that this word is so tough, yes, it is tough, but it is important, and it's a part of your lexical resource. You have to go with it, you have to understand it, you have to find out the way, you need to overcome it. Therefore, it is very much important to read things, read the novels, read magazines, read newspaper, watch movies with subtitles. It's very important. Okay. So why collocations are important? Because it will make your language fluent. See, if you are talking about your particular language, if you are using it, and if you are using with great fluency, means that your, for example, if I am in Gujarat right now, so if the Gujarati people are speaking like they are very fluent in Gujarati, it means you have good command on it. Similarly, in English also they demand command, so command comes from collocations. So for example, if I'm saying he's getting a tattoo and he's making a tattoo, the wrong version will instantly expose you as having weak English. So getting is correct. It is not like making a tattoo. I'm making a tattoo? No, I'm getting a tattoo. Okay. So you can't find making a tattoo incorrect. You can't find it because you don't know it. But when you have the habit of reading, when you read often, you identify the way that this particular word is dicey here, and I don't want it's not fitting here. So therefore making a tattoo is incorrect and getting a tattoo is correct. They allow you to express lengthy ideas but just with few words, saving your precious time during the test. Compare He has decided what he is going to do. He has decided what he is going to do. It's a long one. With he has made up his mind. The letter example, a collocation is both more natural and more concise. Concise means very short, right? He has decided what he is going to do and he has made up his mind. So you can feel the importance of collocation. Okay. When grouped together, collocations demonstrate your language command. Of course, if you are having good usage of collocations, if you are grouping it properly, the language command automatically is judged. Now you can see I have given you the example, the sentence with weak command and the sentence with strong command. When grouped together, collocation demonstrate your language command. So which of these paragraphs shows a strong command and which shows a weak command? Let's see why the first one is weak. One of the heavy problems about transport in public places is the expensive prices of tickets which people pay. Repeating, one of the heavy problems about transport in public places is the expensive prices of tickets which people pay. Now you can read the strong command, same line. One of the pressing problems. See, one of the heavy problems, this is wrong. One of the pressing problems about transport in public places? No. With public transport. One of the most pressing problems with public transport is the extortionate ticket prices which customers are required to pay. Now come to the weak command. This might happen due to the absence of competition between bus and train companies, which means that solitary companies can control the transport choices in an entire area and can therefore put their fees to be as expensive as they want. Now come to the strong command. One of the most pressing problems with public transport is the extortionate ticket prices which customers are required to pay. This might happen due to the lack of competition within the public transport industry, allowing one company to have a monopoly over, it's a wrong pronunciation, over transport options and charges in a particular town or city. So you can see that the weak command is very much lengthy, but if you are finding the strong command, you can feel that it is concise, it is short, full of vocabs and full of good collocations. Rather than using transport in public places, you can say public transport. It is understood that transport in public places is public transport. Then rather you can say absence of competition. This might happen due to absence of competition. No, it is due to lack of competition. Between bus and train companies, it's very weird to write this. It's lack of competition within public transport industry. Okay, so you can feel the importance. So it is very much important to understand collocations also. Types of collocations. There are several different types of collocations made from combination of verb, noun, adjective, etc. And some of the common types are, you can see, I have given the examples also. Adverb plus adjective. Now completely satisfied. Some people write downright satisfied. This is wrong. Okay, completely satisfied, downright satisfied. Between this, completely satisfied is correct. Then adjective noun, excruciating pain, excruciating joy. No, it always be pain, it should not be joy. Noun, a surge of anger. It's good. A rush of anger? No. Noun plus verb. Lions roar? Yes. Lions shout? Oh, no, never. Lions always roar. Anger, a surge of anger. Excruciating pain, completely satisfied. Commit suicide, undertake suicide or do suicide. No, it always be committed. Then burst into tears. Burst into tears. It's a common phrase. You can say burst into. And some people are writing blow up tears, blow up in tears. No. Wave frantically, wave feverishly. No, it's frantically. Okay. So these are the words, these are the examples where you can find out that in this way you are being judged because these are the words always connected with the same words. Okay. Then the last is connotation. So whenever you're writing the good things always try understand that connotation is also important. It is nothing but simply the proper use of language in a positive, negative or neutral tone. So positive tone is, for example, you can see laid back, it's a positive tone. Inactive is neutral and lazy is negative. So read one, just a definition of it in English. Although some words have similar meaning, but they are usually used in positive or negative sense. Hence, when you are learning English words, make sure whether that particular word has any connotation. Connotation, again, you are finding this word heavy. No, it is not. Simply the use of words according to the tone of the passage or tone of the topic. So if your topic is positive, you can use laid back. If your topic is neutral, it's called inactive, and lazy is negative. Similarly, slim, thinny or skinny respectively. Slim is positive, thin is neutral, and skinny is negative. Why to learn this? Of course, for accuracy, of course, for good collocation, to not sound vague or confusing, and not last but not the least is for improving your balance. Okay, so I have given you various vocabularies here related to the transportation. You can see, you can identify that congestion, it's called traffic jam, it's called heavy congestion, gridlock or bottlenecks. You can use these words, it's very easy. Commute, you can say travel to, from work, or travel to office, or traveling from work. Or rush hour traffic means the morning commute, the evening commute. These are rush hour, peak hours we can say. Then take versus ride versus drive. So if you take, vehicle operated by someone else, the bus. Take means, you can, in the right side you can see the definition also. Take, vehicle operated by someone else, the bus, a taxi, the train, plane, fly, ship, go, by sail. So this is take a ride. And ride is open vehicle. Ride is open vehicle. Make sure take is different, ride is different, drive is different. Drive is operate yourself. You can drive anything, whatever you want. Ride is open vehicle, motorcycle, bicycle, horse, skateboard, anything you're riding. Drive is you're operating yourself, and take means someone is operating for you. Then operate, all forms of motorized vehicle. Get in, sitting, get on, standing. Board, embark, disembark, train, ship, bus. Embark on, begin a journey. Go abroad, travel overseas, move to another country. It's immigrate, relocate, resettle, migrate. So these are the words related to transportation: emit, fumes, electric, autonomous, vehicle, pedestrian. I have given you the way you need to generate your thoughts, or you need to generate your vocabulary related to the topic. Okay. The other common related words are, for example, you can see, this is important. Now the important word have various meanings. Pivotal, crucial, essential, prime, chief, vital, significant, paramount. These are the synonyms for important. Many, myriad, numerous, plethora, innumerable, diverse, multifarious, umpteen, many. Salary, pay, earnings, income. Gross, remuneration. I already told you about that income. We have discussed remuneration, financial incentives, etc. Right? Education, study, schooling, pedagogy, book, learning, coaching, literacy, etc. Government, administration, council, ministry, authority, state, jurisdiction, law, etc. So you can see I have given you so many words which help you in your IELTS part. And it's important also, right? Okay. Adjectives you can also use like captivating, pristine, spectacular, appealing. Now adjectives for a place. Suppose if you're getting a cue card where talk about a place, you love it. Of course, talk about a place, you love it, and you're telling that I went to such thing. I went to such place, and after visiting that place, it was, oh my God, that was eye-catching for me. It was breathtaking for me. The scenic beauty. The scenic beauty is a collocation. Fairyland. Appealing. Spectacular. It was intriguing. See these words if you're using. It's very basic words. The only thing is you need to polish yourself. You need to just polish your things that we are already learned in school times, right? And if you had not, do it today. This is the right time. Okay. And last slide for today's presentation is this. Again, use a wide range of vocabulary in your writing task. It's very, very important to use. Do not use simple words if you want more than 6 or 6.5 bands. So please work on a wide range of vocabulary in your writing task. Paraphrase effectively, paraphrase it properly, use collocations appropriately. Do not use common and simple words, use advanced vocabulary instead. Be able to use topic related vocabulary and discuss common topics. So these are the specific tips and strategies for lexical resource, that you need to use a wide range of vocabulary. It's important. Paraphrase properly. I already told you what paraphrase it. Collocations are important. Try to use do not use simple words, use advanced vocabulary. Like now you can change it from harmful to detrimental, damaging, destructive, evoke, and be able to use topic related vocabulary. So you can see that today I have given you the importance, the basic things of this thing, lexical resource, because if you are adding vocabularies, if you are adding such words, it will help you a lot, right? And everything is important for your IELTS exam, as they have given you already that there are 4 things. The 4 things are again task achievement, grammatical range and accuracy, lexical resource, and coherence and cohesion. If you know the things, why are you not working on it? It's very easy. Lexical resource is very important, and lexical resource is not only about vocabulary, it is all about proper use of vocabulary, the collocation, the connotation, everything is important, right? So I hope today whatever I have given you, with examples of course, so it helped you a lot. And definitely whatever things you have, just ask me. Whatever query you have, you can now put your comment here. We are always here to help you out. And the only important crux is, if you are studying IELTS, it is not a very difficult task. It is all that you have to achieve your IELTS score with good English. That's it. You should have good English. And it's not only helping in your IELTS, but it also helps in your future part also, right? It will be. So please be aware of this. It's simple English. Try to read more. Try to study more. It's not study. Try to read more. Whatever things you want to read. Modules, reading modules. You can use anything, any reading module. You can use any vocabulary book. You can use any novel. Rather than using only vocabulary book, I insist you to read things. I insist you to read books. Okay, so take care, stay blessed, and we'll be back with more sessions of IELTS. Okay, thank you, goodbye.